In this video, we're going to compare the Apple Watch Ultra to the Whoop. Now, I decided to give the Whoop a try because I was thinking I might want to go screenless, and I wanted fitness tracking capabilities, and I've heard lots of great things from other friends about the Whoop device, and so I thought I'd give it a try. So for the last 30 days, I've been wearing the Whoop and comparing it to my last Apple Watch Ultra 1, and this is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. I found that there are things that I really like about the Whoop and things that I don't like about it. So first of all, let's take a look at the device. It is a very slim device. It's very comfortable to wear, and I've been wearing it on my right wrist. The device comes off by simply just unsnapping the top, and it pops off like this. You can see it's a very simple device with sensors on the bottom and not really much else going on here. It is meant to be a fitness tracking device that is something that just lives on your body. It doesn't provide any other functionality as far as a screen goes, being able to run apps, do anything like that. It's not the intentions of this device. It also has different attachments. There's a bicep one that you can use. I used it sometimes on my ankle because I have a treadmill at my desk, and while I'm working, it's not counting steps or any activity unless I have it on my ankle where my ankle is moving. So even if it was on my bicep, it wouldn't work. But Whoop has an attachment for that. It worked out really great for me. So what I do like about the Whoop is that it's about as distraction-free as you can get. It doesn't have a screen at all, and it's not meant to give you any sort of feedback on your wrist. You're meant to use this with the Whoop app. And I do have to say, I did really enjoy the Whoop app experience. And so that's something that we'll be looking at and comparing, because I think that is really what it comes down to, is what the app experience is between these two different devices. So obviously, looking at them side by side, the Apple Watch Ultra is going to take up a bit more space. The Apple Watch Ultra 2, I've been able to get about 2 to 2.5 days of battery life out of the Apple Watch, depending on whether I am doing outdoor workouts that involve GPS. That obviously will cut down a little bit on the battery life. But overall, the Apple Watch 2 Ultra battery life has been absolutely fantastic. It is nice being able to start and stop workouts from the watch itself, simply by hitting the action button and jumping in there. And I love the redesigned user interface for workouts with this latest version of watchOS. And so as far as a standalone device goes, this definitely works out well. However, the Whoop is going to auto-detect workouts and be able to tell when you are working out within the app. And so a main difference there is that you're not going to be interacting with the Whoop device at all. It is simply a sensor that lives on your body, and you interact with the device through the app, where the Apple Watch can be more standalone. Doesn't necessarily mean that the Whoop needs to be connected to your phone at all times. If you go and work out, it is still recording data. It does not need a persistent connection to the Whoop app. It will connect when the phone is within range again and start to push data through to the Whoop app. So because of that, the battery life on the Whoop is actually really good. I've been getting 3 to 4 days of battery life out of the Whoop, which is not as much as I expected, but is still a decent amount of battery life for a fitness tracker. So let's take a look at how these devices charge. Now, the Apple Watch, everybody pretty much knows how an Apple Watch charges. There's a little magnetic puck that just goes on the bottom, and it charges the device. Now, Whoop provides this small battery that can charge your Whoop device without being plugged in. And then, of course, you could plug this in and charge the Whoop device, either charging the battery charger or charging the battery charger and the device itself. What I didn't like about this is that you have to slide this in. And so you slide this in and it snaps in. It doesn't feel that great kind of sliding it in. It feels like it's scraping things up. I know it's not, and it hasn't been, but I don't like the way that it attaches. But what is nice about this is that you could be charging your Whoop and still wearing it. And I don't see any way around what Whoop did here. Now, if I had this device on my wrist, so let's just go ahead and put this back on my wrist, and I knew that my Whoop was going dead as far as battery, I could slide this right on to the Whoop device, and it's charging my Whoop, and I can go about my day. I can go work out. I'm not going to miss any data because I can charge it while it is attached to my body. That is something that is not very comfortable to do with the Apple Watch, and you lose any fitness tracking because the charging puck that attaches to the Apple Watch will cover up all of your sensors. So Whoop definitely won there in their ability to allow you to charge the device while still using it. I'm just not a huge fan of this thing snapping and sliding on. I don't know, it just It's okay. The first couple of times I was really concerned. It's not the most enjoyable experience. But what is an enjoyable experience is being able to use your Whoop device uninterrupted as long as this little guy has a charge. And so you could plug this in to the USB-C cable. It comes with this short little cable that is USB-A on one side, but most of my devices are USB-C. So I had to use this USB-C adapter that I already had that connects USB-A and adapts it to USB-C so that I can charge using some of my other devices. Not a big deal. I just wish that they had included that in the box, because these days we're getting away from USB Type A connections and have moved to USB Type C. Just to recap, you charge the Whoop charger, make sure that that's charged up, and then you can attach this to you. And this is great if you wear your Whoop while you're sleeping. Charge it while you're sleeping. Take this off in the morning. Your Whoop's going to have 100% battery. I just wish it attached a little bit nicer. I don't know. I just can't get over how it slides in and attaches like that. But nonetheless, a great option because it charges the device without having to remove it. So besides one having a screen and one not, and one being able to charge while you're wearing it and the other not, what are the differences as far as what these devices track? Well, I haven't really been able to find much of a difference as far as what I use. They both monitor my heart rate. They both monitor my blood oxygen level. They both track steps and workouts. Those are the main things. What really is different is the app experience. Let's go into the Whoop app first and take a look. When I open up the Whoop app, it is going to sync with the Whoop device and make sure that all of my data is currently synced. It's going to show me my battery charge level here on the device, which is at 31%. I haven't charged this device in a couple of nights, and it's going to bring in all of my data. And so far today, I don't have a whole lot of data. I don't have any sleep data because I haven't slept tonight. But if we go and look at yesterday, you can see that it gives me some information up here that I find extremely useful. It lets me know my recovery and my strain, my sleep, and my HRV. Those are 4 key components that let me know what kind of sleep I'm going to need and what kind of recovery I'm going to need based on the kind of day that I had. And it tracks a lot of great information there to make sure that I can really quickly understand whether or not I should get to bed a little bit early or take it easy on that evening to allow my body to recover. And so on this day, you can see that I've got 45% recovery and just a 5.0 strain. The app actually let me know that I could go, I think it was up to like a 11 point something strain. I didn't work out yesterday, so my overall strain level was relatively low. We also have a sleep coach that's in here as well that helps me plan the ideal bedtime. So it says try getting to bed around 10 p.m. to achieve 100% sleep needed by 7:30 a.m. So if that's when I was going to wake up, that would be great. And then it also has a built-in alarm that I can set as well. So let's back up one more day and take a look at a day where I actually had a workout. You can see here my recovery is 70% and my strain was 15. And so my strain was a little bit higher than my recovery. And because this app is syncing with Apple Health, it pulled in my run. And so you can see that my run produced a activity strain of 13.9, shows me lots of information about my run, such as which zones I was in most of the time, and also shows key statistics like calories consumed, average heart rate, max heart rate, and the duration of that workout. And I love the way that that information is presented to me. Very nice. Let's take a look at sleep. You can see here that I got 5.2 hours of sleep, and almost 2.5 hours of it was restorative sleep. And I like the way that sleep is broken down in here, showing me awake, light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, as well as giving me some key metrics here, which I like. I like the data, and I also find that the way that the data is displayed is really important as well. Let's take a look at HRV. HRV is reported here for the last several days, so it's kind of giving me an overview of where that has been and then information on what it means. And I can go week, month, or out to 6 months, which I've only had the device for about a month, and so I don't have that much data yet. So that's great. And then under sleep performance, I can do the same thing. View my sleep performance and see how good that has been over the course of period of time. And then calories as well, showing me a graph over time based on calories burned. I like the stress monitor because there might be times of the day where I wasn't working out, but maybe my body was more in a stress state. And I can see when those times were, and I can see those peaks. and maybe try to identify what took place during that time of day, where those peaks are represented, and maybe that will help me better control my stress throughout the day. We also have strain and recovery graphed here as well, and we can see how those things correlate and kind of work together. And of course, if there are any massive differences between them, like there was right here, and going from that day to the next, what happened there? Did I get poor sleep? Was I really stressed that day? It's interesting just to see that information on the graph. So overall, I think that's great. And this is our overview. We also have a sleep specific tab here that gives me more information. We have a recovery specific tab with information, and then we have a strain specific tab as well. Now, on top of that, we also have coaching built in, and this coaching will help me when I am doing my activities. I can start an activity and track the activity within the app. Of course, I don't have to do that. As you saw, Apple Health will push in data because I'm also using my Apple Watch. Or if I'm not using an Apple Watch and just using the Whoop, I can come into the app and start and stop workouts from within the app. And then we have a community section as well where we can learn things. We can create a team where we're actually like connecting and sharing workout data with other people who might be our friends, people that we work out with. And then we also have recommended teams based on things like where you're located, whether you fly a lot, your age range, and stuff like that. And then under the More tab, you can see we've got some additional things like unlocking free months if you refer people, viewing your account settings, and stuff like that. When we tap on the Whoop icon here, we can see the amount of battery life that we have in our Whoop device and see where our data is as far as our data being synced. And I still have some data that's still left to be synced, as you can see there. So overall, the Whoop app experience is really nice. I like the Whoop app experience. What I don't end up doing much is going into the Apple Health app, simply because I don't like it in comparison to a lot of these other apps. When I reviewed the Oura Ring, I talked about how I really liked their app and the way that they display data. In another video, I'll be talking about the Ultrahuman Ring, and I'll be sharing about their app. And the Whoop app definitely presents data in a nice format that's easy to understand and easy to get your mind wrapped around the data that's most important to you. When you come into the Health app, we have our activity monitor, which shows us our activity over time, which is good. Simple graphs that are easy to understand with goals that are listed there, but nothing super granular. We can get into our heart rate, and we can see our heart rate range based on periods of time like days, weeks, months, and stuff like that. Nothing super granular here. We can scroll down and see other highlights that have to do with that, like as when we're in a workout state or when we're in a sleep state, which is nice. Then I can go into the HRV and I can see that as well. Not a whole lot of data there. Tries to explain to me a little bit of what HRV means. This is not super exciting. It's not giving me any immediate feedback. Sleep, they do that okay with the Apple Watch as far as being able to see your sleep visually. But what we don't get is a super nice breakdown of our sleep and what each of these sections look like in a bar graph like we do in the Whoop app. Of course, we can see that here. It shows those 4 sections here as far as time. I mean, I could switch around. There are some different views, but it's not as good as a data experience as the Whoop app is. And same goes pretty much for everything else that Apple Health will display. So as far as an in-app experience, I think Whoop, that's where the power of Whoop is. It's not necessarily in their tracker, even though their tracker does a great job at what it does. It gets all the data. It is simply a capture device. It's not meant to do anything else on your body, but the app truly does display data a lot better. So as far as fitness tracker devices, like which one would I go with? Well, if you want a screen and you want your tracker to be able to do other things like run apps, be able to respond to text messages, take phone calls, and do all of that stuff, the Apple Watch is a clear winner because it has all of those additional features. It is more of a smart watch. It has all of the features that you would expect a smartwatch to have. Whereas the Whoop device is a fitness tracker. It doesn't have any screen at all. It is simply a capture device. And because it is so simple, it has a little bit better of a battery life than a device like the Apple Watch would have. Like I said, lasting an average of 3 to 4 days if I'm working out every single day. And with the Whoop, I'm wearing it 24 hours a day, not charging it until I feel like it needs a charge. And with the Apple Watch, even though the Ultra 2 has great battery life that can easily last a couple of days, I still find myself out of habit charging charging it every night for a half hour or so before I go to bed to make sure the battery doesn't get too low. So the two winning factors that the Whoop has is number one, it's a distractionless device. It is simply a capture device that you wear. And number two, it has substantially better data representation. The way that that data is displayed to me is much better and gives me a better picture of my overall health and fitness than the Apple Health app does. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I've got links to the Apple Watch and the Whoop down there. Using those links helps support the channel, and it'll let you see pricing, options, and all of that good stuff. So definitely check out the links in the description below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I put out new videos. We'll see you in the next one.